So with chapter 1050, we've finally come to the end of Luffy versus Kaido. So in this one, we're going to be going over the whole ending of it and talk about who wound up winning and how they did it. So the final phase of this fight started with Luffy deciding that he was going to use, I guess, his ultimate attack against Kaido. I mean, naturally. And this started when Luffy came out of the clouds above Kaido with a massive fist covered in armament hockey that rivals the size of Onigashima itself. But since it is that big, he needed Onigashima to be moved out of the way, because the end result of this attack surely would probably destroy it, and I guess kill most of the people, if not everyone on it, in the process. So he asks Momonosuke to, move it out of the way with his own flame clouds that he is capable of producing, but Momonosuke has some serious mental block going on during this sequence, so we kind of have this extra ticking clock added to this as well. But anyway, in response to Luffy's big final attack here, which is called the Baggering Gun, Kaido, I guess, decides to do his own ultimate ability, or what is implied to be so, which is the Flaming Drum Dragon, where he coats himself in fire. So hot, in fact, that it melts the horn of Onigashima on contact. And then he goes on to use his own final attack, which is known as the Blazing Bagua. So it's that versus Luffy's Baggering Gun in our big arc-ending final clash. Now, as this is happening, Luffy says, "Gramps taught me how to attack without making contact." And then we get a flashback to Luffy training with Hyogoro in Udon Prison. It was at this time that Hyogoro taught Luffy what the people of Wano know as Ryo, aka Internal Destruction, which is an advanced application of armament hockey, where Luffy is essentially sending like a hockey shockwave inside of the target. It was always kind of set up that this was the method that Luffy was going to use to defeat Kaido. Then Luffy says, "I'm gonna knock you to the bottom of hell." Keep that in mind because that's pretty important. So then at this point we get the big back and forth clash. Luffy's huge Baggering Gun colliding with Kaido's Blazing Bagua while his mouth is open. And at the same time, of course, we need Momonosuke to get over his Flame Cloud block so that he can move Onigashima out of the way in order for Luffy to deliver the coup de grace to Kaido, or at least on paper. But first, let's talk about today's sponsor, and that's Fandomaniacs. So guys, Fandomaniacs is one of my favorite sponsors because they do a good job and they're really easy to work with. So they're a fun and quirky team who are obsessed in creating things that you are obsessed with. They're the perfect place to find apparel and merch based on your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. And since this is a battle anime and manga channel, they have tons of battle anime and manga stuff. So I got this amazing Nakama shirt, which is a great finishing piece to the streetwear of the day. I also grabbed this amazing Jolly Roger hoodie. It has the Jolly Rogers of all of the Straw Hat members. And on the back, it has the Thousand Sunny. They also have these really cool 3D transitional panels. So as you see, this thing can easily go on your wall and make for a great conversation piece for all of your friends and friends who maybe you have benefits with that come over and you can talk about this. So guys, if you want some of this sweet merch for yourself that I promise is gonna look great on you, check the link in the description and also use code ZONE10 for 10% off. Thanks, guys. Then as the clash is continuing, Kaido spits a little rhetoric at Luffy saying, "What kind of world do you wish to make, Straw Hat?" And as he says that, Momonosuke finally is able to make his own flame clouds and shoots a ring of them around Onigashima, successfully moving it out of the way. But Kaido made his last mistake here because that little comment was the final motivation that Luffy needed to overcome Kaido. Because in response to that, he says, "A world where my friends can eat as much as they like. That's my kind of world." And he finally overcomes him with the Baggering Gun and hits him possibly the hardest that he's ever hit anyone in the series. And with Onigashima successfully moved out of the way with Momonosuke's Flame Clouds, he sends Kaido directly into the ground of Wano below like a freaking bullet. But not only that, he sends him into the ground, like going deep into the earth. Very similar to what we saw Kid and Law do to Big Mom when they defeated her. And apropos of that, it seems like Kaido was sent directly next to where Big Mom was sent, because it turns out that they both were sent so far deep beneath Wano that they wound up being sent inside of the magma pool underneath Mount Fuji. So yeah, Big Mom and Kaido were sent into a pool of lava underneath Wano after being hit by those big final attacks. And this goes back to Luffy saying, I'm gonna knock you to the bottom of hell, because he certainly did. Then the narrator starts talking again, and I think this might be the first time this happens in the series, but he says the declared victor of the rooftop battle has been revised. This is in reference to when he initially declared Kaido being the winner a couple chapters back, when the CP0 agent distracted Luffy, and he wound up getting smacked by Kaido, similar to what happened with Oden. But then we saw that that sequence eventually led to Luffy awakening Gear 5. But then he says decisive battle in the skies of Wano, victor, Straw Hat Luffy. And then this underwater volcano erupts. And Momonosuke in his dragon form is speaking to the citizens of Wano saying, you know, don't be alarmed, I'm not Kaido. In fact, that eruption was the final send-off for the supreme commander of the Beast Pirates. So, does that mean that Kaido's dead? I mean, because when he got sent down into that magma pool like a freaking bullet, I guess on top of Big Mom already being sent down there, it straight up caused this underwater volcano to erupt. And we can fully assume that Kaido and Big Mom were like straight up in that. So does that mean that Kaido and Big Mom are dead at this point? I mean, it seems likely, right? I mean, it's freaking magma, and we're getting a lot of dialogue in this chapter kind of insinuating that much. I mean, if it wasn't Luffy already saying that he was going to send Kaido to hell, and then the narrator saying that Luffy has won, along with Momonosuke saying that that was the final send-off for the commander of the Beast Pirates, the only thing we really need at this point is a panel showing us that Kaido has been like vaporized or melted completely or something, which we haven't gotten. And since this is One Piece, I mean, there's always a possibility that he and Big Mom or one of them could have survived this. I mean, yeah, they did take a bath in lava and the freaking volcano exploded while they were in it, but you know, they still could survive this. They are Yonko after all. But regardless, this is pretty much the end of the fight. A fight that has lasted over a year. And I'm just talking about Luffy versus Kaido alone, not just Kaido fighting, because that's been like 2 years. But after delivering the final blow to Kaido, we see Luffy kind of like pass out, come out of his Gear 5 and go back to his base form. And while he's falling, Yamato is able to catch him before, you know, he completely hits the ground. And that's kind of what was going on with Luffy in this chapter. He's fine. So this is like, you know, typical end of final battle Luffy. So yeah, that was the ending of Luffy versus Kaido. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Do you think it's over? I mean, I'm pretty sure it is, but if you think it's not, if you think Kaido's gonna get back up again or survive this, let me know. It is possible, but I personally hope not. I just hope that he's straight up dead, to be honest, because he's kind of done like a lot of awful things, and death is the only thing that is really fitting for him at this point. I mean, if any villain in the series needs to die, it's him. But let me know what you think, and if you liked the video, guys, please give it a like, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.